Good morning, America. This is your USA Morning News Update for Friday, January 30th, 2026. I'm your anchor, bringing you the latest from across the country and beyond, in our usual calm and straightforward manner. We start with the weather, where recovery from a major winter storm continues, but attention is shifting to a potential new system developing along the East Coast. The expansive January winter storm that impacted much of the nation from late last week into this week has resulted in significant ongoing effects. Heavy snow, sleet, freezing rain, and damaging ice stretched from the south through the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and into the Northeast, and parts of New England. In southern and central states like Kentucky, Tennessee, and others, ice accumulations led to widespread power outages, downed lines, and tree damage, with many areas still facing restoration challenges amid persistently cold temperatures. Northern regions saw deep snow accumulations, complicating travel and daily routines. The death toll from weather-related incidents, including cold exposure and accidents, has risen notably, underscoring the storm's severity. While the primary system has moved out, forecasters are tracking the possibility of a rapidly intensifying low-pressure area, potentially a bomb cyclone, developing off the southeast coast this weekend. This could bring heavy snow, strong winds, and coastal impacts to the mid-Atlantic and Northeast, though track and intensity details remain fluid. Residents in vulnerable areas should stay prepared for possible additional disruptions. Transportation and safety remain affected by these conditions. Airports in the Northeast and Midwest continue to report some delays as snow removal and de-icing operations wind down from the earlier storm. Highways in ice-prone southern states and snow-covered northern routes stay hazardous, with officials advising against non-essential travel. In anticipation of the weekend system, transportation agencies are monitoring closely, and travelers should check updates frequently. Emergency services note continued calls for weather-related issues, including vehicle incidents and assistance for those without power. Safety reminders include keeping emergency supplies on hand, checking on neighbors, and protecting against the cold. Our major USA headlines this morning include several developing stories. Activists have called for a national shutdown today, urging people to refrain from work, school, shopping, and other activities to protest recent immigration and customs enforcement operations and fatal encounters involving federal agents in Minnesota. Organizers describe it as a response to perceived overreach, with participation varying by city and community. In Washington, tensions over government funding persist as a deadline approaches, with debates centering on Department of Homeland Security allocations amid the immigration-related controversies. Congress passed earlier spending measures to avert prior risks, but a partial shutdown remains a possibility if no agreement is reached.
Protests continue on Capitol Hill, where dozens of faith leaders were arrested during demonstrations against current immigration policies, calling for restrictions on agency funding. This follows broader backlash and mixed messaging from federal officials. Recovery from the winter storm advances slowly in hard-hit areas, with power restoration efforts ongoing for hundreds of thousands still affected, particularly in the South, where some outages could persist for extended periods. Federal and state aid continues to support communities. In international developments tied to U.S. policy, discussions around Venezuela include the release of certain frozen assets and renewed diplomatic contacts following recent U.S. actions there. The Treasury's Trump Accounts Initiative for Family Financial Support remains in rollout, connecting to ongoing policy conversations. On viral and trending USA stories, social media is active with reactions to the proposed national shutdown, including calls for participation, debates over its impact, and divided opinions on immigration enforcement. Images and videos from the recent storm, snowy streets, ice-covered landscapes, and community aid efforts continue circulating, often paired with messages of resilience. The bald eagle nest cam in Big Bear, California, featuring Jackie and Shadow laying their first eggs of the season, has drawn widespread attention and positive engagement online, providing a lighter counterpoint amid heavier news. Internationally, the U.S. has deployed additional naval assets to the Middle East amid escalating tensions with Iran, with defense officials stating readiness for potential orders. China has issued strong statements rejecting U.S. efforts at containment in the region. Other global notes include ongoing concerns in Ukraine and diplomatic engagements elsewhere, such as India hosting an Arab foreign ministers meeting. That concludes our USA Morning News Update for today. With potential weather shifts ahead and active national discussions, stay safe and informed.